Hello, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to some Plan B Terraform. So, in the thing of being back on the desktop and stuff like that, I'm revisiting some of the old games I have, some of the games that we were trying to play at one point and didn't finish for one reason or another. I've had massive updates here recently. One of those being Plan B Terraform. I actually had a lot of fun with this one. So we're gonna we'll just do normal for everything, just because that's kind of what we do, and then we'll just kind of let it go, right? Let's see. Let's see. You know what? That one looks good. Let's do that one. Do, 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 do. So, and then, like I said, I was playing some Planet Crafter, and I was like, oh, I want to terraform some stuff. And that's not, it's usually been mandated. Manage resources, newly discovered planet. You must bring supplies to cities, manage terraforming projects. Good luck. So this is kind of a if you haven't ever played this game before, we're gonna kind of go through it. I played quite a bit at one playthrough, and it's kind of a new Lagos, right? Welcome to Atfi 412F. Start by creating new extractors. Okay, so we're gonna create some new extractors, right? So how to play, logistics, global information, right? So this we have a kind of a map up here. We have the temperature down here, an extraction, building an extract to extract the resources, right? So there's an extraction down there. This orange stuff up here, right? So we'll get this guy here. So extractor, build, extract resources, right? So we're gonna do this, and we'll kind of do this, right? So what we'll do is we'll build these extractors on the edge of this thing, right? And then we'll kind of build that like that, okay? Then does it want me? All right, fine. I'll just build all of them there. And now I'm out. Not enough item owned. All right, so those will kind of build my extractors for me. So transform buildings to create your first container. Okay, so we've created containers, right? And then is it going to tell me what to do, or am I just going to? All right, I'm gonna close you. I'm done with you. Transformation, right? So we have transports. So we have these guys. We have a factory. We have an assembly plant, right? So we have a factory here. So we can build us a factory out here, right? So we're going to be making steel bars with it. That's cool. That makes sense. We can do this like this. I may have built too many. Okay. And then here, this guy, assembling plant. Can't remember if I can put them like this, if they'll pull from, let's see, steel bars to make the extractors, right? And then we can build us another one of these guys, and we can make a depot, right? Okay, so if I do this one here like this, that can do a depot, right? And then now the trick here is I need to build a road, but I don't think I can build a depot, right? So the depot can go like this, and then we can put another one here, and then we'll put another one like this, okay? And then I can put one here, iron ore, put one here, right? So those both be iron ores, and then we can do. I wonder if I needed to put all those closer. If I don't have trucks yet. Okay, maybe I don't have trucks yet. Okay, bulldoze all this. Let's try this again. Okay, so let's do this. Can I just put these all next to each other? Steel bar. Okay, so that I can do that. We'll do like that. So that way we have all those steel bars coming in. Then we'll do this, and we'll tell this guy that we want you to make these. Okay, you're not going to do that. All right. Easy enough. All right, so give me that thing back. So then we'll put us another depot here, like this. And then we're going to tell this one to pick up steel bars. And then we'll put another one over here. Which can also do steel bars like that. And then we'll put these guys in. So a factory. So factory here, still bar, factory here, and a factory there. Okay. And then put you here. Actually, I need to put. Let me get. I think I need to get more. Oh no, these aren't supposed to be still bars. Those are still bars. Okay. I will get it all figured out here in a second. All right, so we have still bars there. So now I need to put this guy down, which is going to turn still bars into extractors. And then we'll put another guy over here. And then, nope, you. I don't want you to make that. I want you to make a depot. All right, so now we have depots being made. We have extractors being made. So that way we should be able to have those. Now, do I need to make more depots? Or do they just add to my inventory? We're going to find out. Here, we can do this. All right, so they're just adding those to my inventory. So as they make them, they basically are just taking the steel, turning them into extractors, turning them into depots, and then they'll slowly start making our stuffs, right? So now we do need some more extractors over here probably. And like this whole thing probably could be done a little bit better. Right, so if I do another extractor here, so that extractor just got auto connect to that guy. That'll get it a little bit more steel there. I think I can actually take, if I connect these together, I think they start balancing. I seem to remember that. And then, but they only go one loop out, so we can't get too far away from our main area here, right? So this will basically allow us to do that stuff. And then you see new logos there. And then eventually we got to get enough stuff down here to build that and start making it work better. All right. Now I think they added Control C like this. Okay. Copy selection, cut selection. Okay, so I can actually just copy this entire thing like this. Can I rotate it? I can't rotate it. Ha. I could just put this entire thing up here like this and go bam. Except for I don't have enough things to put all of it down. Okay. Control X, does that work? No. Cut. Nope. All right. All right. So the copy paste stuff has just been added. So it's basically you do this. Oh, now I did it. Control Z. How do I control? Okay. Control Z puts it back. So that way you can put stuff back. Good start. Now you can build new factories. Okay, hence use factory still bar into mechanical parts. So mechanical parts. So we need a factory to assembly plant. Okay, so if we do that, so hopefully we should have a couple of those things being made. So we need to do this guy over here, and then we're gonna put you here and you here. That will be good. Get us a couple of extractors. Get us a few extractors in there. And then hopefully these guys will all kind of start getting their stuff sorted out. So then if we go here, right, so we can make assembly plant mechanical parts, right? So we basically need to make extra stuff. So what I need to do here is I need to make a factory, and we're gonna make steel bars, right? And the problem is at this point is I need to get kind of things going. So steel bar, then we'll do here, we're gonna do mechanical parts, right? So we'll make mechanical parts, and they'll make us another dock here. Not enough of them owned. All right, so we'll have to get one of those made. And that's our issue. I probably should have swapped these two. I probably should have done the extractors over here instead. So I mean, can I just? I just want to move it. I dragged one earlier. All right, got another one of those. All right, so this is going to be mechanical parts, right? So that'll be mechanical parts. And then I can kind of cheese this guy here, right? So if I do this, I can go here and go like this. Let's see. Actually, we'll put that there and tell it to make more steel bars. Because that way those guys, these will both be making steel bars into here. And then that can make mechanical parts. And then once I get down here, I can take this guy. I can make a factory. I put this guy. And nope, no, don't want that guy. Let me try that again. Let's do this. And then I can make an assembly plant. So that way we have both those kind of going in, making assembly plants. It's not going to be efficient. It's just going to be enough to kind of... We're trying to build the stuff we need to be able to build right now. So we need to build plants, we need to build extractors, we need to build that stuff. These things, I still kind of want to grab this and move it. Let me cut this one. I'm going to paste it here instead. And then this one, I'm going to paste back here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need more depots. I need extractors. So that way I should be able to feed more stuff into that guy and build my depots faster. This guy I'm not super worried about. The depots. We need a lot of depots. He clicked open progression level. So basically it wants me to... Does it tell me? So produce 5 factories. So it basically just wants me to produce 5 factories. So that is in and of itself enough. And then we'll just slowly produce those and get caught up. And I'll be back when we have those made. Talk to y'all soon. All right, we're back. It says our scientists have developed ways to produce concrete from the sulfur regolith. Right here, it says we'll need concrete to grow. All right, so we need to make concrete next. So now another thing I did, so concrete, roads, trucks, supply centers, right? So unlocks items. So we do have a couple of things here that we need to unlock or to build to. So if we go in here and look. So another thing I figured out is if I click on like this guy and then I click on this depot, right? Or I say the road, right? So I click on the road. I'm gonna tell it I want a bunch of roads. I want like 250, right? So I can limit my amount of roads I have to like 250. The same thing with the trucks here. So I can do this. I can say truck. You know what? Let's make like 15 of those, and then that way I can keep 15 trucks on me at most times, right? The same thing with the supply center, right? So if I do this, I probably don't need a lot of those. I can probably just do like 5 of them, right? And then these guys. So now these an assembly plant, right? So if I look at an assembly plant here and I tried to place it there, and then so assembly plant. So a truck needs mechanical parts. Okay, that's easy enough to do. A road needs concrete. A supply center needs concrete. Okay. So really the only thing over here that I need that can be added is a truck. So we'll go ahead and we'll add a truck to this. And then that way we can start producing trucks from this thing. So once these things kind of get backed up, now if you leave them to infinity like they start, like it's just going to pump all your resources into one thing. And then like this whole situation is going to be a problem, right? So we're trying to get that stuff figured out. So we'll get these. Now the next thing we need to do is get down here to like the regolith here, right? So we're going to do something very similar. We're going to take us a couple of these guys, and we're going to place them along like this. You know what? Let's do it like that. All right, let's do it like that. And then we'll get us some of these guys, right? So we'll hold down that, and we'll do that. Okay. So now you'll see that those all are producing sulfur, and they're all, and when you connect them like that, you see that little road. They'll start balancing it out. So if something is kind of over, like one area is a lot heavier than another one, they'll kind of start moving them around and kind of balancing it, so that they're all kind of evened. So that is very helpful. Now, if I do this and we go to this guy, right? So we go here, we'll build this guy, and we're going to tell it we want to build concrete. We'll do that, and we'll build a couple of those. Then we're going to do the same thing here, and we're going to do this guy, and we're going to tell him we want to hold concrete. Okay? So that way we basically are just turning everything into concrete now. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to do factory here, and we're going to do this guy, and we're going to tell it we want it to build roads. We're going to do, nope, that is not what I want it to do. There's got to be a button that causes it to not do that. All right, let me try that again. All right, so do this one. So this one, I want to build a supply center, right? So that way we have roads and we have supply centers. And you know what? I may actually make another road here. So that way we have two roads. And then that way we have two of them building roads. And then that way we can get those kind of built a little bit faster. If we look at this guy here, so he wants to reach a level 20 of population. Okay. So the way you do that is you go out here to the station here, right? And then I need to build a supply center. So which is easier said than done, right? So these guys are all kind of going what they need to do. We need some trucks. How many trucks do we have? We have 2 trucks. All right. And then, yeah, the further away you build stuff, the worse it gets. But this area here is probably just going to be my building facility. All right, so now we have one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to New Lagos. We're just going to put this right next to it. Now, if I look at this thing, right, it says supply New Lagos, right? So they want concrete. That's all they want is concrete, nothing else, right? So if I'm going to go down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to put him there. We're going to put this guy here, right? So because it's going to pick up that, right? And then I'm going to put, I'm going to run a road like this, and then I'm going to run a road all the way up here and not have enough to do it. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for things to kind of get picked up. If I remember right, I don't remember if I have to, we need more road. And the reason I'm doing this is so that way my concrete over here, this is being produced, and that's being stored for me, and I can do what I need to do here. This is just feeding this building for now, and then that way if something happens, I'm not worried about it. It's just separate. I don't run out of concrete and then I can't make roads, or I don't run out of freaking concrete here to be able to make roads for the city, right? Now I do, when you go to build your road into the city, right, we want to build basically as straight in as we can, because the city can't build on the road and it can't build where that guy is. So you want to kind of get that done. So we're just waiting for the roads to build. I set it to 250 roads. I may actually increase that number just because it's really helpful to have, you know, when I want to build, you know, a long road, to have enough road to actually build it. All right, so now if we do this, we're going to take this guy here. We're going to build a truck. I'm going to build a truck here. And then, so basically what I'm doing is I'm building the location, right? So I'm telling it to pick up there. I'm going to tell it to drop off here. Okay. And then once that happens, you'll see a truck is now going to pick up, it's picking up sulfur. That's not right. That's not what I want it to do. I have failed. Okay, let me get this guy. Delete. See. Okay, so we'll do this. All right, so I got ahead of myself. So I need to get this guy here, and I want you to make concrete, right? And then once I do that, we'll put another guy up here. You're going to hold concrete, right? And then I'll put my road through here, like this. You go there like that. All right, so now this guy, then I can click on here. I can change that to there, right? And then I can get rid of this road out of here, right? And then that should give me what I need to do. And then this I can actually, we can increase this guy a little bit. And then we want to change, we don't want it to do that. We want it to do concrete, right? So that way they'll start loading concrete onto the trucks. And then we can do what we need to do. So now, obviously, now we need more of this stuff, right? So we can get these guys going, build like this, right? So that gets more sulfur going in there. We can get another one over here like this. We can get this guy here like this. And then those two will connect. And as it'll start moving it along, right? Go ahead, put this guy here like this. And then we can take this guy. We can copy this one and then bring those over there like that. This one, we can copy this one, and we can do that. So now we've gotten more things to start building more concrete. Obviously, our trucks are having to wait because we're not producing concrete fast enough, because we're not producing enough sulfur. And then adding the extra things, they're basically dividing up their locations of where they can do it. But as you can see, like as soon as it's like, oh, the truck's like, okay, I can take off, and then off it goes. Get more assembly plants. We're still trying to build those. So, and we're just trying to keep things going. So now if we go up here and look at this guy, right? So this guy is concrete, insufficient, low. Oh, okay. I forgot. All right. So now I need to build this guy here, right? And then we're going to tell it to pick up concrete. I forgot. All right. So that way it's going to start pulling that in there. Right, so now you see this guy is happy. Now they're limited, supply limited, 67%, right? So that gets up a little bit higher, they're going to start getting happier, and then as they get happier, the city itself will start to grow, and then we just need to keep feeding them concrete, and then you just kind of look at this place, and it'll tell you what you need. Okay, easy enough to do. And then we'll just keep kind of pushing this along down here to try to get more and more concrete or more sulfur into the situation, and more because the more sulfur we can push in, the more concrete we put out, the more concrete we put out, the more trucks we can add to this thing. So if we see that these things are starting to back up, which they are right now, right, we can add another truck. And then that way we get the trucks added. And then that way we're able to move the concrete, basically, hopefully, to keep it kind of leveled up. And they'll kind of auto-balance themselves out, where either to be dropping off or to picking up. Wherever the bottleneck starts to get into it, they'll start doing that. The only problem you have to worry about is if you put too many trucks on one line and it starts backing up and you have another one coming across, you can start having some traffic. So that is in of itself not bad. All right, so we're at 9 out of 20. They're happy now, or happier. So that satisfactory is 100%, right? So basically now they'll just start to grow, right? Annual supply demand of 10, right? City will try to containers from other supply centers, right? So basically what we can do is we can actually set it up so we have multiple supply centers, and then basically have them set as primary and backup and stuff like that. So that way, if you have someplace that you're trying to empty, like you're trying to destroy a patch, right? That you can like, all right, grab it from here first, right? The other thing we can do also is to have multiple of these guys going, so we can actually have a couple of routes as this thing goes along. Eventually, we'll get trains and all kinds of crazy stuff, but for the most part, we're okay. Just keep adding to it. I don't think that one will reach over here. All right. And then we can go up here and look and then see these guys, make sure these are going okay. And eventually you'll kill these patches off. So you'll have to make sure you come back and clean it up and put more in it and stuff like that. Same thing over here, right? So you have to kind of keep an eye on it because you can kind of murderize a patch and then just not have anything. Eventually you'll get these guys that can reach out like 2, and that makes it a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to wait for this thing to catch up. Once we get the progression, we will be back. Talk to you in a minute. All right. So we got our guy kind of leveled up here. So we're up to 20. Well done. The growth other cities need oxygen. Their own generators won't be enough, right? So basically, hint oxygen, right? So aluminum bar, carbon, nitrogen, atmospheric extractor, landmark tower, right? All right. So we can do all this stuff. So we need to find aluminum and then carbon, right? So this should be, what is this guy down here? This is aluminum ore, right? So we're going to go ahead and build us a couple of extractors down here. So we'll get us a couple of extractors going like this, right? It's atmospheric extractor, right? And then we'll get us this guy. We'll put him in there. Put this guy here. Put that guy, right? So we'll make aluminum bars there. That'll be great. That'll be awesome. We'll build us another guy here. We'll have him pick up aluminum bars, right? So we can get those moved along. And then we can go here. And then factory, what is a factory build? Factory builds, not what we wanted. Get that guy out of there. We'll get this guy in. And then, so here we can build landmark towers, concrete, atmosphere extractor. So we need aluminum bars and mechanical parts, right? So that starts to get complicated. Okay. The extractor. So we basically are going to need to find mechanical parts down here, right? So the easiest way to do that is to look and see, like here, those are rocks. Those aren't helpful. So we have this guy way over here, right? So we're going to end up having to shuttle stuff in. I don't see it making it easy on me. And then this is ice. All right, so basically need to bring these guys in together. So get this guy over here. Like this. And we'll get this guy here, do that, and then we will get us a factory like this. I'm going to tell it we want to make steel bars. And then we'll get us another guy here like this, right? And then once we do that, we'll get this guy here. We're going to go another factory, put that guy there, and we're going to tell this guy we're going to make mechanical parts. Okay, and then another that guy, and then you're going to store mechanical parts. So those are all going to be going. As we get more of this stuff built here, I can kind of take this whole area and turn it into a big like pyramid scheme to make mechanical parts for us, right? So that will be great. And then we'll take a road. So we're going to take a road from here, and then we're going to bring it all the way to over here. Okay. We'll take us a truck. Truck from here to there, right? So they're going to pick up mechanical parts there. And then down here, we're going to go back down here. Once I find it, there it goes. So these, we were going to put another guy in here like this. And I'm going to tell this guy, and you're going to be mechanical parts. So the truck is going to come here. And I want to reverse the direction. So go to the other place. All right, so we'll do that. So we'll get those so that we at least have mechanical parts coming down eventually. They're going to take me a minute to get down here. But that should give us aluminum bars that give us the atmosphere things. And then it is a long run. You should be still bars. Okay, I must have messed that up at some point or something. All right, so that stuff will all get moving along. Get us another guy here. We can get us this guy here. So that can all be connected. Iron ore, right? So we'll do iron ore kind of along here. And then that can kind of feed in. Right, and then this guy, we can copy this guy here, do this guy like this. We can do this guy like that. And then we can copy this guy to there. And that way it kind of starts to build that thing so that we can kind of funnel all this into one location. And then, you know what, let's go ahead and make another one of these while we're at it. There you go. So that way, that's all built and happy. And then they'll slowly override the amount of trucks that we can put through here. Now I do need to go back up here, and not this guy, this guy. Probably could use like this whole thing is just being ran as fast as it can. Kind of want to get this one done and this one because then I can connect this whole thing together. But it is running ever so slowly. And then you can look, and like the extractors, we have one of those. We don't have any of those. This guy, don't forget to go through and limit this. So we'll just set it to 20. Whenever you can build something new, you want to make sure you have it limited. Because if not, you're going to look and you're going to be like, oh, Lord, I have 9 million of these. You know what? I can probably just do like 5 of those. That'll be fine. And then let's go ahead and go over to our concrete production here, right? And then, so we have concrete production. So let me get this guy, build another one of these. Let's see, I want another one of these, right? And then this guy, we can build this, and we can tell it we want to build landmarks, right? So we should be building everything that we have. Whether we need it or not is irrelevant. And you'll see these guys are going to start trying to push things over to balance this out. Everybody's just cooking along. Cooking along fine. Probably need to build more of this stuff up here. This is going to slow me down eventually, right? See, this guy wants me to build total population of 50. Okay, so that is hard. Now, if we look at this guy, right, it wants oxygen. So we're still doing that, but we don't have enough oxygen coming in. And you see, as it builds, they start adding more and more to the city, and the city will start to grow, and it's all fun. Now, I do think probably going to need carbon. Those are just rocks. What are you? All right. Nice volcano down here. I think unless it's making carbon, we need to make one of those things and see what it needs. I think it outputs carbon. Yeah, I see you're seeing these trucks are stacked up now. And then hopefully they just okay. They're just that slow. They really long way to drive. I need about 9,000 trucks on there. We'll hook them up a little bit. A few more trucks. All right, so there you go. So they're actually starting to get enough moved over there now. But it's a very long trip. And the problem is the longer the trip is, obviously the more cars I need to have on it. Unfortunately, though, this was about as close as I could get. Let's see. Let's do this. Do this. Do those. Actually, not do that one. Get rid of that one. So this will eventually kind of probably be the limit I want to go for over there. And then this guy will go like this. And then we'll put a few more of these in. So 2 more of these. And then that kind of will fill that whole thing in. And make way more mechanical parts than we need. All right, so that thing is all kind of built. Our trucks are slowly starting to move things over here. And the aluminum is just destroying it because it's so much faster. Let's see. But fine, you can have the last 5 of them. There, have all 20 of my trucks. And you can bring them up like later if we need to. We can take more of them out. We can pull the trucks off of this line and delete it and do all kinds of stuff. So it is a slow process. All right, so we just need to get enough of these things to make one of these. All right, we can make one. All right, so now let's go. Let's look at this thing and see what it does, right? So we can either extract carbon or we can make oxygen. We want to make oxygen. So if we make oxygen here, I'm going to tell this guy to kind of go here like this, right? So this guy, what does it want for oxygen? Extract oxygen or carbon from the atmosphere. Okay, so we can extract oxygen from it. So, and then we're just drop oxygen on here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this guy like this. And we'll do that. So now we make a nice little road here. Right, and then I can get another depot up here. Yeah, so, and the problem is we can run into an issue where we're going to get backed up here. Let me get this guy. And we'll get those guys like that, right? And then, so what I can do here now is I can take this guy. I can make me another truck. I can go from here. And then I'm going to go to here. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to bring oxygen up there. Okay. So we'll get a little bit of oxygen moving up there. Obviously, we need all the trucks. And we also need more of these guys, right? So the issue here is I need to build. So if I hit Control C this guy, I'm going to build like this around it. And then once I do those, we can get these guys, and I can start building these, right? And then having those produce oxygen. And I'm just going to have them produce oxygen all the way around it. And then that way, hopefully that produces enough oxygen that we can get our enough trucks and do that stuff and just slowly do what we need to do here. So the trick here is you're just constantly trying to, it's, if you really kind of boil it down to like Factorio, right? It's kind of research, right? So we're just trying to feed whatever research, whatever node we need into the segment here, so we can get as much as we need to get things to work correctly. And then as we do that, we can kind of continue to build stuff and get it to work down here, and build the oxygen, build the trucks, right? So we need more trucks. So we put all 3 of those trucks on there, right? Those will all get the oxygen up there. Now the only thing, like I said, is you have to worry, because I think if like this guy gets backed up to here, it could cause a problem where we can't get to the other area. So you want to make sure you have enough of a kind of a lay down yard so that we can make sure we're not clogging the other trucks up, right? Because as they come in and make loops and stuff, they're gonna get bottlenecked, and we don't want that because it breaks everything. So I just need more trucks now. Oh, this guy, you are oxygen. There, go get oxygen, my friend. There, give them oxygen because they're sad and they're not breathing well. Right, and then at the same time, like we have this guy, right? Now we do have New Mumbai over here, right? So we can actually start taking the concrete and start working and bringing concrete down from here to here, right? So because if I go down here and build a depot, I build a depot here, right? This tells me they want concrete. Okay, well, you know, I have concrete. Like I could probably make some of that. I don't have the trucks to do it, but I have the ability to make concrete. And I don't really have these guys either, right? So, but we can actually start building that. We can build to that city. We can build to our other cities. But some of it is probably not really worth doing it until you can kind of get trains. Trains are a game changer, because being able to move stuff, you can move it a lot further, a lot faster. And we need all the trucks. Please, all the trucks. And then we'll get this. Control C this guy. How many more of them can I make? Okay, 2 more. So, and I'm just going to keep stacking that around until I have enough oxygen on there to, you know, for them to be happy and be able to move as much as I can. As other trucks. And the good thing is because of the drones, the trucks don't even slow down. If they're empty and they got something to put in them or take off, they just keep going. It's great. Let's see. I don't know. So it says we're 100% satisfied. So we should be growing again. I just like watching the little guys move around, and makes me happy. Makes me happy. At some point, we'll eventually have to like cut this out and move it back. And you'll end up with a whole like crazy like building thing, and it gets pretty crazy. But it's a fun game. So as always, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here. We're bringing oxygen in. I'm just gonna keep adding more trucks down here as I get them. As I get more trucks, be like, oh, there you go, 2 more trucks. Go take more oxygen up there until we kind of get it backed up. We're gonna keep letting them go. And then if I needed to, like I could take this guy and expand it here, and then I could take the road and then run it over to New Mumbai, right? So I could take any of these roads and like literally just go all the way around the entire planet. Now they'll have to go around the mountains and all that stuff. It's going to get a little wiggly, and it'd be a really long path, but they could do it. But we're still making concrete. We're still making oxygen. The city's still happy because it's got both of those things. And we're slowly growing. So, but with that, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and take off. You guys be safe. If you have a question, comment, or concern, you can leave that down below. If you like the video, you want to see more of this series, please consider hitting the like for me. And if you are not subscribed and you would like to be, there's a button for that down there too. You guys be safe. Talk to y'all next time. Bye.